everyone, I'm Tushondra. Welcome or welcome back. Here we focus on joy through personal style, creativity, and everyday moments. In today's joy moment, I'm going to be sharing what I won from Portland Leather Goods 10-year anniversary giveaway. So let me start by telling you a little bit about this giveaway. Portland Leather Goods did a giveaway for their 10-year anniversary, and it was called The Stories We Carry. It says, where has your PLG been? Share a memory, milestone, or adventure your bag has been a part of. Now, I didn't know that this was even something that was going on. I happened to visit the Georgia store. This was on June 23rd when I visited the store, and that's when I found out that this was even something that was going on. I, of course, had my favorite silhouette with me, and if you've been watching my channel, you know that Aspen is one of my favorite PLG silhouettes. I actually had my medium Aspen in the color Asheville with me. And of course, this is the bag that I talked about. I talked about Aspen in general because Aspen is the bag that made me fall in love with shoulder bags all over again. For years, I carried shoulder bags, and then I transitioned away from shoulder bags to crossbodies and figured I would never go back to shoulder bags. And then Aspen was released and I gave it a try, and I have become a fan of shoulder bags all over again. I'll also insert a photo of my entry card so you guys can read what I wrote down. There were some other folks who participated in this giveaway as well, and the winner was determined by the number of votes that you received. This giveaway time frame was June 11th to June 26th, and I didn't find out about it until June 23rd. So I was already well behind in the number of votes. I filled out the entry card and got my picture taken, and it was put on the wall. And I wanted to know who was leading, and they told me how many votes this person had. So I had to figure out how I was going to get some more votes. You could vote for yourself, but there was only one vote per day. So I knew that on the 23rd, I actually had at least one vote. For those next 3 days, I went to the store every day, and Galen went with me, and he voted for me as well. And anytime I was in the store and there were other people in the store, I introduced myself to them and I talked to them for a little while, and I told them they were under no obligation to vote for me, but I would truly appreciate it if they did. Let's talk about what I actually won. I won a Oversized Sloan in the color Cobalt. I did have a medium Cobalt Koala for a very short time, but I have rehomed that particular bag, and so I am excited to have Cobalt joining my collection again. This Cobalt is more blue leaning as opposed to being more purple leaning. I am excited about that as well. I will bring this closer so you guys can get a better look. Well, actually, let me just lift up the basket first so you guys can see everything that's in there, and then I'll just take everything out of the basket. So we've already talked about the Sloan. I also received this small circle in smooth black, a pinch pouch in Lollipop, and this is my first time actually seeing Lollipop up close, and it's really pretty. Even though it is a smooth leather, I think this is very pretty. The other thing in here is a Bifold Wallet in the color Metallic Greenish. Now, if you have not seen my unboxing video from the last sea sale, I received a Metallic Greenish small camera bag, and I was not very excited about that camera bag. It is very ironic to get Metallic Greenish again, but in a bifold wallet, I think the Metallic Greenish is actually not that bad. Let me bring all of these a bit closer so you can get a better look. Here is the Metallic Greenish bifold wallet. This is the front side of it, and you can see it has some very even pebbles on it. And this is the other side of the wallet. On this side, you do have the Portland Leather Goods stamping on here. It does have a snap, and it has 6 compartments here. You also have a slot back here for bills, receipts, another slot here, and you have a zippered compartment on this other side with 2 other card slots. Here's the front of the pinch pouch, and then here's the back, right? And it is zippered. I do find the pinch pouch to be a little restrictive when you're trying to get your hand inside of it. And I don't know that when you actually pinch it, it gives a little bit more space, but still not a lot, depending on how large your hands are. And I feel like I just have average size hands. This is what it is like trying to get in and out of it. I have already started using this. I've been keeping this inside of my house purse. So I have chapstick in here, a day's supply of medication, some cough drops, emery board, and of course I have stuff for my nails in here in case they break. All right, and now let's talk about this circle bag. This is my first small circle bag. When I made my first PLG order, I had ordered a large circle in, I want to say nutmeg, and that has since been rehomed. And actually, this smooth black, I would not have bought this for myself, but I actually do like the way that it looks, and I do actually like the way that it feels. This small circle does have a exterior pocket, a small exterior pocket. Oh, this must be like a color transfer card. Yep, it has a color transfer card inside of it. Try to move the lighting around just a little bit so you can see the interior of the bag. Here's the inside. It does have an internal pocket right here, and then it has like a little tag on the inside that says Portland leather. This bag is a crossbody. It does have an adjustable strap that is not detachable. And here on the zipper, you can see that there's also a zipper pull that's really nice. I did notice it was a bit caved in right here. I'll probably just try to overstuff it and see if I can reshape this a little bit. And at some point we'll do a what fits inside of the small circle bag. Maybe what we can do is compare the small circle to the small camera bag, because I do need to give you guys an update on the camera bag since I have traded the metallic green. Here's the Oversized Sloan. Again, this is in the color Cobalt. This bag does have some very even pebbles on it. Okay, and then here is the first side. Here's the back. Oh, I love the Sloan. And here is the other side here. And let's take a quick look at the bottom. The Sloan also does have an adjustable and detachable crossbody strap that it comes with. This bag also has an interior pocket, and this is the size of the pocket here. I'll go ahead and take the paper out. Here is the crossbody strap, adjustable and detachable. Look at how pretty this color is on the inside. That is so pretty. Here is the other side. This is where the pocket is. It's a really big pocket. Even though I've had this basket in the house for a while, I have not used this Sloan just yet. I actually really like the way that this feels. Look at this. It's not like super squishy, but it's soft enough, right? It doesn't really puddle necessarily, like in comparison to, say, Sunshine. It's not like a big puddle, and it's not as, I would say this is more structured in comparison to my Oversized Cold Brew Sloan. Actually, let me just go ahead and grab that and let's talk a little bit about this Cobalt. All right, I grabbed my Oversized Cold Brew Sloan. I have actually been storing my large Moss Sloan inside of here. So let's take that out and let's just take a look at these two side by side. Here they are side by side, and just me looking at them, I do feel like Cobalt has a bit more structure in comparison to the Cold Brew Sloan. With this one, it is very, very squishy. It is so super soft, and when I use it, I have to put a canvas organizer inside of it because it is just a bit of a puddle. And you see, look at that. Look at how the handles just flop right over. This one, the handles, they're trying to lay flat, but they don't flop. And the bottom doesn't have a lot of support in general, but it's not as soft. Let me just pick up this cold brew And now I think you guys can see the difference. So this is what I mean when I say I feel like the Cobalt has more structure in comparison to cold brew. This is just one big puddle. Like, look at the bottom. It is totally collapsing in on itself. The top is nearly flat, and this Cobalt is saying, hey, I'm just chilling. This one is like, nope, I'm a bit relaxed. This is definitely a lot softer and squishier in comparison to Cobalt. One other thing I wanted to share about this Cobalt is I am really enjoying this a lot more than I did the Cobalt Koala. That Koala had a very waxy type of feel to it, and also when I put it on, it just felt like a big lump was sitting on top of my body. This, even though it's not as squishy as this cold brew, I can tell that when I am carrying it, it's still going to mold to my body somewhat. It's not just going to sit there like a big lump. And I think I'll enjoy that a lot more. What I'm probably going to do is buy a purse bottom and see how I like that before trying to carry it with a organizer inside of it. I'm wondering, what bag did I last use? Okay, I think I last used this Coach Rowan. I'm just going to throw these items inside of this bag. I have my small canoe pouch in the color Nutmeg. I also have my large canoe pouch also in the color Nutmeg. There's not much in here. I think it's just some lip gloss and a receipt. And I also have Daisy Plus in the color Caspian. My iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm going to put that in this back pocket here. And you can see with it in this back pocket, I still have space over here on the side, and my phone completely disappears inside of here. There's still a lot of space. This is the Luxe Slim wallet in the color Vintage Tan. This is a large, and I just dropped something. My squeeze eyeglass case in the color Stardust. And let's put a journal in here. Okay, this is a large snap journal, also in the color Stardust. So I'm just going to put this right here in the back. And you can see all of those things fit in here very easily. And I still have some space here on the side. I'm not sure that you can see that, but there's space over here on the side. Let's see, what do I have? This is a large Roswell pouch in the color Iris, and inside of here, this is where I keep my Beats Over the Ear headphones. Let's see if I can put that right here on the side. Yeah, so it slips right in there. Granted, it is right up against the edge, but when you hold it up, you can see that it is covered by the top of the bag. So let's go ahead and zip this up. One thing about the oversized Sloan and the large Sloans, they both have the double zipper, so I do enjoy that. It was a little bit difficult to get it over this hump right here where the Roswell pouch is. All of those things are in here, and it has some really good structure to it. So I don't think I'm going to need a purse organizer. The bottom isn't saggy either. This actually might work well without an organizer. Now, just for comparison purposes, let's go ahead and see how these same items look when I put them in the Cold Brew Sloan without using an organizer. So remember what this looks like. Okay, we have the Cold Brew Sloan here. Let's open this up. I will start with the journal, wallet, large canoe, small canoe, squeeze eyeglass case, Daisy Plus, and the large Roswell pouch. I'll stick it right here on this corner and take my phone out. To pull the sides up a bit. This is what the Cold Brew Sloan is looking like. And actually, it doesn't look too bad. You can see this bottom is a little softer. It is buckling here on the bottom a bit, and you can see across the front there. But Overall, it doesn't look bad. I think because I have the journal in here, this is actually giving it a bit more structure. Let's take the journal out. Move things around a little bit in here. I put the Roswell pouch across the front. So now you can see here across the top, it is kind of dipped in a bit, and at the bottom you can see it's a bit saggier in comparison to the cobalt. But this actually isn't too bad. It's soft, but it's not bad. But definitely you could see that the cobalt had more structure. All right, you guys, now let's do a really quick recap. We got this oversized Sloan in the color cobalt, a small circle bag in smooth black, a bifold wallet in the color metallic green, and the small pinch pouch in the color lollipop. Oh, and you know what, you guys? Let's not forget, I also came home with the basket that the items were placed in. In the comments, let me know what's your favorite item that I received from this PLG 10th anniversary giveaway. And that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you'll be informed anytime I post new content. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.